Hello friends. Pardon me, I'm just recovering from a little bit of a sore throat here. I had an idea for making some labels, and it seems like we always need labels. Labels just kind of finish off projects, and there's lots of different Etsy shops that you can get labels from. But I decided to make a way that you could print as many labels as you want, in whatever color that you want, whatever style design that you want, basically for free. So I just wanted to show just a few little ones that I did here. Those ones, this was kind of an architectural diagram. So what I did is I went in some places that have public domain images, and this is one of the botanicals that I really liked. So I printed a grid of labels over top of this page. So I printed this page, and then I printed over top of it with a label grid, and then the labels just kind of fall where they want to fall, and you end up having a bunch of beautiful labels. It's like a puzzle or something that I'm doing here. This is but they all come from here. That's probably the side, yeah, the side one there. So I think they're just beautiful. So I did this one, and then I thought, well, maybe we'll see what else I could find. So I'll just put these aside for a minute. Here's what's left of that sheet of the botanicals, so I haven't cut those out yet. And here was it was like an architectural diagram, vintage diagram, again in the public domain. So I just printed this, and then I ran it through the printer again with the label grid on top. And the label grid I'm going to talk about in a second. This one was another botanical. This was just a kind of a gray sketched botanical, and I overprinted the labels on there. This one was a digital from Artie Mays, beautiful digital, and so I printed the digital, and then I just printed the grid on top. And you know, all of these beautiful, you know, these ones will have butterflies, parts of butterflies in them. This will have a beautiful blue flower. This will have a beautiful pink flower. All kinds of different, you know, you don't know what you're going to get until you print it. It's really neat. This one I printed over some ledger paper. This was gosh, I forget. It was it may have been Artie Mays as well, but I think it was, oh gosh, I can't remember, I'm sorry. But you can print, you know, it was just a collage of ledger papers, and then I printed the grid on top, and then I used my stamps to add a few little extras. So I had a viney stamp, I had a bird stamp, I stamped date in a few, I stamped some numbers in a few. Some of them I used red ink, some of them were black ink. I put in joy on a few different ones. So I think when you cut these out, they'll be really beautiful. And you could just kind of randomly stamp all over the place, and whatever appears inside of the, like this one, the enjoy didn't quite make it in there, but once you cut that off, you still have a beautiful label there. And some of the labels will be more like a background kind of label, like you would put them behind something maybe, and some of them will be more of a feature label, like the ones that, you know, really captured an image, like this one here. So what I did is, I guess I don't even actually have the paper here, but I created a digital that has this grid on it. I just made a whole bunch of different label sizes, shapes, you know, different little, some with arrows, some with a number, some with rounded, the ovals rounded, some of them with a rounded inside edge. This one has a rounded inside edge. This is more angular. So just all kinds of different shapes and sizes, so you have a big choice on what you want to do. And then this digital overlay is going to be in my coffee shop. And so if you want to pick that up, you can print it over top of anything. You could print it over top of coffee dyed paper. You could print it over top of your scrapbook paper. Any digitals that you have, even freebies that are available from different places, public domain images, and maybe with the digital, I'll let you know which specific. If you get the digital kit, I'll leave a note there that tells you where you can get these specific public domain images. I found a whole bunch of really neat ones. Fashion catalogs. This was one I decided not to use for the labels, but I probably could. So this is the Penny Magazine front page. I just did a quick little coffee dye on the back after I printed it. If you're interested in seeing how I make this vintage ephemera, there's so much out there in the public domain. You can print it, age it, and then you have your own vintage ephemera for journals and stuff. So if you'd like to see how I did that, leave me a comment and I'll put that there. But I'll leave a link to, or not a link, but in the kit I'll put links to the specific public domain ones that I do. I'll tell you maybe, I mean, you could get them from anybody's. This one I know is from Artie Mays, and this one was public domain, so I'll put a link for that one. And this one I have to look up, but it was a ledger collage. It may be Artie Mays as well. Or, you know, if you make your own digitals, you can do that as well. Any of the kits that you have, any background papers, you can even use your own book pages run through the printer, or music pages run through the printer, and make how many ever labels you want wherever you want them. And I did them just in black at this point because I think black stands out on pretty much any color. But if you have interest in something different, like a different color label, maybe different sizes. I was also thinking of possibly doing another overlay where you could put it through the printer a third time, and then I could put little images right in, like center them inside the labels. So, you know, it could be a number, a word, you know, a few different words. A couple of them I did just on the original here. You know, this one has a couple of words, this one has a number, but you know, just to fill in, like especially this one is quite muted, so this one would be nice to have an extra layer again that you could print out and add that to your labels as well. So I'll think about doing that. If there's interest in doing that, I may add that also. But anyways, if you're interested in this idea, go over to the coffee shop and pick up one of these grid labels and make yourself a whole pile of labels for basically free. Thanks, friends. We'll see you in the next video.